What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I'm going to be sharing the new best loadout to use in Warzone, and this is something I just recently discovered, and I haven't seen anybody else talking about it, so I'm the first one to get to it, which is awesome. And on that note, even though this video just started and I haven't given you any value whatsoever, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out. And without further ado, let's just hop right into it. For our primary weapon here, this is going to be for close quarters, we've got the Milano 821. Now, the Milano has the highest time to kill in the SMG category out of all of the SMGs in Warzone, which is awesome because higher is obviously better. And with this, the first attachment we're going to be using is the Infantry Compensator, because this helps with vertical recoil control, and even though it hurts your horizontal recoil control, that's usually way easier to compensate for, so we want to help with our vertical recoil control as much as possible. And then after that, we're going to be using the mounted flashlight because we want maximum movement speed. This is designed for close quarters. We want to run as fast as possible. And we also get aim walking movement speed, which is great. The only downside to this is people get blinded by this flashlight, but that's also an upside. That's not really a downside in my mind. As for our optic, we've got possibly the best optic that you could use on an SMG. This is the Fast Point Reflex. This just looks so cool and sleek. It's got a really neat design, and it'll give you that psychological advantage over your enemies because nobody else really uses this, and I don't know why. After that, we got the Duster Stock because sliding is really important in Warzone. You want to be sliding as much as possible, just non-stop. Then finally, for attachments on our primary here, we've got the Field Tape, and this one gives you flinch resistance, which definitely works in Warzone. So that's the main attachments. However, something I also found out is some of these cosmetics are actually going to be helping the gun out quite a bit. The first thing is we want to be using a nice camo here that's going to keep us hidden because we want to sit in bushes a lot with this setup. So make sure you get that right camo on the gun so you don't stick out like a sore thumb while sitting in those bushes. Next, if you've got it unlocked, you definitely want to be using the Radiation Reticle. This one right here is going to give you that psychological advantage, and it strikes fear into the enemies as they watch the kill cam, which is really, really helpful if they come back from the gulag for revenge. They won't want to come anywhere near you after seeing this reticle. Now, along the same lines, we want to make sure we're using the nuke sticker on the front. This, once again, is just going to let people know that they shouldn't be messing with you because you have a nuke on your gun. So that's our primary. Now let's move into the secondary, and this is going to be designed for the really long range fights. I wouldn't use this unless you're beyond like 200 meters or so, then you want to switch to this gun. And this is the new best sniper rifle in the game, basically. I know it's not a sniper rifle, but this is the FR556 from Modern Warfare, which is a 3-round burst gun, and it's by far the best burst gun in the game. And with this, we're using the flash guard because we want that muzzle flash concealment. You don't want people to see that muzzle flash, even though it hurts your bullet velocity, but we all know that's not a very important stat for Warzone. Then after that, we want the Commando Barrel. This one helps with your aim down sight speed and your movement speed, which of course is going to help you a lot in those long range encounters. Then after that, we are going to be using the Sniper Scope because we are challenging people at really, really long ranges. And even though you have glint and enemies can see that glint, it doesn't really matter. I think this is going to scare them more than anything, so you definitely want that glint to be visible. Then after that, we've got the Ultralight Hollow Stock. This one helps with our aim walking movement speed, which is great for super long range encounters, even though it hurts our aiming stability. But again, that's just not a really important stat. And then finally, for our perk on this, we're going to be using the Heavy Hitter Weapon perk, which gives us melee stun power. And this is just in case somebody sneaks up on you while you're trying to pick somebody off at really long ranges. If you don't have time to switch to your Milano, then you can just melee them with your FR556. So you've got all your bases covered here. Now, once again, we do want to be using a nice woodland camo here. It just helps us blend into those bushes really well. Nobody will see you at all if your gun has this camo on it. And then quite possibly the most important part of this particular setup is for our weapon charm, we want to be using the Rose Thorn weapon charm. And the reason for this is it actually makes you invisible to anybody that's using the rose skin, which is amazing because almost everybody uses that. So you're going to be unstoppable against those people. Now, I haven't tested this myself, but I saw somebody make a TikTok about this, so it's got to be true. So I'm definitely going to be using it on here, and I'm confident it's going to be helping a lot. And now let's move into our perks. So for perks, we first up have Scavenger because that's really useful in Warzone. When you kill somebody, they don't actually drop ammo unless you have Scavenger. So we want to make sure that we're using that one. Obviously, we've got Overkill, so we can have these two amazing guns. And then finally, the most underrated perk in Warzone, we've got Spotter. With this, it allows you to hack enemy claymores and proximity mines because those are laying around all over the place, and we want to make sure that we can hack those, and then when the enemy comes back to check on their claymore or proximity mine, which they do very often, then this will take them out. But finally, for our equipment, we got the C4. Even though you can't throw it very far, it's still really cool, so I like using that. And then, of course, we've got that smoke grenade, which is going to help us a lot, especially since we aren't using a thermal sight. So there you have it. This is the new best setup to be using in Warzone. It is so underrated. I can't believe I haven't seen more people using it. With that Milano, you're going to be absolutely dominating everybody up close with that really high time to kill that you have. And then with the FR556, this thing is just pinpoint accurate. This is by far the best sniper rifle in the game now, especially when you set it up the way I did. Just make sure you don't forget to use that Rose Thorn weapon charm in order to keep that invisibility power. That actually reminds me, if you are trying to do this trick where you stay invisible to people that are using that Rose Thorn skin, unfortunately, you can't use that skin yourself. Instead, the skin that you have to use to maximize your effectiveness of this invisibility is you want to go to Alice's skin, and you want to be looking for the Undercurrent skin. This one is the one that maximizes your invisibility while using that Rose Thorn weapon charm. For whatever reason, these just interact in a really cool way that makes you pretty much invisible. I know it looks really bright and colorful, but that's not what the enemy actually sees. And with that, that's pretty much it. I really hope to see a bunch of you guys using this in my lobby. I personally will probably not use it a whole lot because I don't like to follow the meta, and this is definitely going to be the new meta coming up. But for anybody that likes following what YouTubers tell them to use, make sure you're using this one because it is absolutely top tier, and it's been flying under the radar for way too long. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for the new best class setup to use in Warzone. And of course, if you haven't checked the date of this upload yet, you should probably do that. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys next time.